Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Lamplight City. We've once again found ourselves in the Spectre Society. Things have, well, taken a familiar turn, I guess. So we're going to have a look around here.
There's quite a few members in this group.
Quite a few, okay.
Those are some creepy twin girls. I could see a passing resemblance to Miss Maxwell, actually.
So there's not really, it doesn't look like too much more going on here
Ooh, spooky. That ghost between the two people almost manages to look convincing.
than we can normally see.
I never much cared for all that mystic stuff. Why should your life be dictated by a bunch of cards?
Fair enough. Right, look at the bookcase. Maybe there's something here that can help us out. Secrets of Astral Projection, Metempsychosis, the Art of Seance, Terrors of the Deep, the Giant Squid, Voodoo in New Britannia, Mediums, Gateways to the Spirit Realm, What Lies Beyond the Veil, The Mysteries of Spontaneous Combustion. Look at that!
This all sounds strangely familiar, but spontaneous human combustion can't be real, can it? Then again, sometimes the simplest explanation is the correct one.
Yeah, and I think it was Daredevil was saying in the comments below that actually one of the main things about spontaneous combustion is that quite often the legs are left behind. So, yeah, could well be. Let's read this. Spontaneous human combustion is a highly controversial subject, but remains popular among scholars and aficionados of the occult and unexplained. The term refers to death from a fire originating without any apparent source of external ignition. The fire is believed to start within the body of the victim. In the 1823 book Medical Jurisprudence states the commonalities in recorded cases of spontaneous human combustion, including the following characteristics. The victims are chronic alcoholics. Okay. They're usually elderly females. The hands and feet usually fall off. The fire has caused very little damage to things around the body. A residue of greasy and fetid ashes is left behind. That all sounds plausible based on what we saw at the crime scene. Most physicians and investigators strongly believe that spontaneous human combustion is a product of alcoholism. An illustration of two men finding a victim of spontaneous human combustion. We can't really see any clues or details there though. Alright, Secrets of the Tarot and Spirits in the Ether I don't think are going to be helpful for us, but that is interesting. Maybe let's see what Angela Maxwell says.
Could I ask you about some things, Miss Maxwell?
Certainly, darling.
Yeah, okay, cool. Desiree Lathan.
Are you familiar with a woman named Desiree Lathan?
Yes, she came to see me just last week. She told me she was doing research for an article she was writing for Brentwell magazine.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of research?
She asked me a few questions and looked at my books. That was all. She wasn't here for very long.
And what was she researching?
Something about spontaneous human combustion, I believe.
Okay, let's ask about human combustion.
What can you tell me about spontaneous human combustion?
I'm not overly familiar with the subject, but I do have a book about it on the shelf back there. You are welcome to look at it if it will help.
Oh, I did already.
I may, but I'd like to know what your understanding of it is.
Well, I believe it is when the human body inexplicably catches fire and burns. It usually occurs among elderly women who drink to excess, and very little fire damage is caused around the body. That's really all I know, darling. It's not a very agreeable subject for study now, is it?
So it's about the death?
Did you know that Desiree Lathan is dead?
What? My God, no. I didn't. What happened to her?
She was found burned to death in her bed.
How awful.
You have any idea how this may have happened?
There are a number of possibilities. But if she was in the middle of researching spontaneous human combustion, and then to have this happen, it can't be a coincidence.
Well, it
Are
can.
you suggesting she herself was a victim of spontaneous combustion?
One need only compare the circumstances of her death with the facts, darling.
She can't be serious, can she?
Oh, I mean, the facts say that...
Thank you for the information. It was very enlightening.
It was my pleasure, darling.
I mean, working the facts for a minute, you know, it does match up with the description, but that doesn't mean someone didn't commit foul play and just try to make it look like spontaneous combustion. So we can't, you know, rule either of those out, I suppose. We've got something in the casebook. Report to Upton and declare Desiree Lathan's death the result of spontaneous human combustion. I don't want to do that necessarily because we don't know that's the case. We've got to still investigate the Gascoigne Supper Club. Speak with the attorney Jonas Usher we've got to do as well. So what I want to do, I want to speak with the attorney. But I do want to go back and see if we can fulfill the thing of using the...
Nothing new to ask him about right now.
To fulfill the thing of using the pewter mug thing to get the ashes?
I'm afraid I need to have another look inside Miss Lathan's room, Officer Kane.
All right, but please be quick about it.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry. Because we did... Although it seems to have gone from the casebook, weirdly, but it did tell us that we should probably get the ashes with something, right?
Just a pile of ashes. They can't tell us much more than we already know.
Okay, maybe we have to get the ashes from here then?
Oh, Miles, really? You're going to carry the ashes around in a pewter mug?
It's vital to the investigation that we find out exactly what happened to the body. If anyone can tell us for certain, it's Dr. Edwards.
Fair enough. I suppose this isn't the most unpleasant thing you've carried around. Remember that time we had to go looking for that murder victim's missing head?
I'd really rather not, actually.
It sounds pretty awful. Okay, we've got a clue and an objective added. Okay, so let's have a look at that. Have Dr. Edwards, the coroner, examine Desiree's ashes, and the clue was Desiree's ashes. The fetid, stinking ashes of Desiree Lathan contained in an unwashed pewter mug. That sounds disgusting, I won't lie. So who is this Dr. Edwards then? I wonder.
Ugh. The smell from the bedroom is getting worse. I don't know how much longer I can stand it.
Oh, okay. Does it smell because we're carrying it? Is that a thing? Okay, maybe we go to Dr. Edwards. Where is Dr. Edwards? Brentmore Magazine. The bank. Usher and Price. Okay. Usher and Price? No, is the doctor here?
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the law offices of Usher and Price. May I help you?
Possibly, yeah.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator, and I'm looking for Jonas Usher.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but Mr. Usher is not seeing anyone today. If it's a matter of urgent legal importance, you could see Mr. Price. Oh, that smell! I thought I told Mr. Usher to throw away that sandwich.
Oh god, it is. People are noticing it.
The plaque says it's a portrait of Thomas Usher. Looks like a real go-getter.
Yeah, it does. What's this? Bowl of sweets. Okay, so there's Usher's door. There's
that pipe really clashes with the rest of the decor in here.
It's a really weird place to have a pipe. Okay. I mean, he said Usher's busy, so I don't want to go barging in.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Yes?
Why isn't Mr. Usher seeing anyone today?
If I may ask, what is the reason for Mr. Usher's refusal to see anyone today?
He has a rather important trial starting tomorrow, and doesn't want to run the risk of falling ill.
Falling ill?
What?
Mr. Usher is very particular about his health. Very particular.
Okay.
I see.
That's interesting. Would it be possible to leave him a message?
Might it be possible to relay a message to Mr. Usher?
Yes, you can leave a message or calling card with me, and I'll make sure Mr. Usher gets it.
I have a document for Mr. Usher. I need to speak to Mr. Usher about Desiree Lathan.
Sir, it is of the utmost importance that I speak with Mr. Usher.
And as I said, he isn't taking visitors today.
But it's in regards to his client, Desiree Lathan. Or should I say, former client.
Miss Lathan found another attorney?
Not exactly.
No, I'm sorry to be the one to have to inform you, but she's dead.
Dead? I had no idea.
No? It was in today's newspaper.
I haven't read it yet. Mr. Usher forbids it in the office.
But surely he's read it. Just because he forbids you reading the paper in the office.
No, I mean he forbids the presence of newspapers in the office. He fears they bring in outside germs.
Wow.
I see.
In any case, if what you say is true, I'll need some sort of proof.
Proof.
I suppose just bringing in a copy of the newspaper is out of the question then. We'll have to find another way.
Okay. You want proof these are Miss Lathan's ash... What we know about Usher, I don't think that's a good idea, because that's just going to be dirty, right? And he's already commented, this guy and the officer have commented that it smells, so I don't think that's going to go down well. What document do we have for Mr. Usher? I don't know which document we have. So, okay, let's leave that for now.
Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
Let's head to, what was it, Dr. Edwards? Where is Dr. Edwards then? So he's not going to be at our house. Perhaps he's at the police station?
Dear Lord, what is that smell? Did you step in something out there, Fordham?
Not
Private
exactly.
investigation is a dirty job, Upton. You know that.
Alright, I don't want to go through... We can't talk to that guy. Upton, do you know
Got a
anything
moment,
about
Upton?
Dr. Edwards?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
Maybe she can give us a location for Dr. Edwards. Review case, wrap-up case, mortuary
Would
access.
it be possible for me to access the mortuary?
The mortuary? What for?
I'd like to consult with Dr. Edwards.
Right,
Ah.
but be careful. Make sure you don't let Snelling see you back there.
Okay, review the case.
Have a moment to go over my current case?
I'm afraid you're on your own this time, Fordham. The walls have ears around here.
Okay,
If they find out I'm helping you, it won't end well for either of us.
probably true. Right,
Understood.
we're not going
I'll
to
still
do
be here when you've solved it, though.
wrap-up case because
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
we're absolutely not declaring it as spontaneous combustion until we're certain, because it could well be a well-disguised murder. So, oh, okay. Is it through that door then? Maybe it is. We don't want Snelling to see us though. This could be bad. Please don't. Okay, fine. All right.
Dr.
Relax.
Edwards' lab was always a fascinating place to learn about death. A bit less so now that I'm quite the expert.
Wow, this
Oh,
place is
did
cool.
I miss cleaning up some bit of that last corpse?
No. God, everyone's commenting on it.
Fordham, what brings you down here?
Hello, Edwards. I was wondering if I could pick your brain.
Yes, of course.
Cool.
There's one in a jar over there, and I may have another one around here somewhere.
That coroner humor never gets old, does it?
It doesn't.
Anyway, let me know what you want to discuss. This fellow's not going anywhere.
Hey. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have a look around
It
first.
looks rather fresh. There's a plaque at the base of the jar that says H. Putnam.
Nice. A
Well, at
skull.
least he died with a smile on his face. Sort of.
Okay, there's a scale here.
I'm pretty sure I saw Edwards weighing his lunch on this once.
Oh, I hope not. That sounds disgusting.
I remember when Edwards used to keep his collection of preserved reproductive organs on this shelf. He must be getting soft in his old age. Or perhaps that's exactly what happened to his collection.
Hey. Okay.
A fine example of well-developed deltoids, latissimus dorsi, and gluteus maximi. The brain is truly a fascinating organ. If only more people used it.
It's true. It's a
Assorted lab
workbench.
equipment for setting things on fire or causing explosions. You know, the perfect way to pass the time.
Sure. Since the door is a typewriter. Some more.
You've seen one dissected torso, you've seen them all. It sure is a lot of rubbish crammed inside our upper bodies, isn't there?
Rubbish, but crucial rubbish.
It's important to keep your hands clean when dealing with dead bodies. After all, you never know where they've been. Until after the post-mortem exam, anyway.
Typewriter.
I wonder if Edwards ever got around to fixing this typewriter. The letter E being out of alignment always made his reports a nightmare to read.
It's quite funny, actually.
This provides the room with just the right amount of heat. Unlike the incinerators in the crematorium. Talk about overkill.
Embalming
I'd
device.
say being hooked up to that machine was the worst experience of my life. Except I was already dead at the time.
Yeah, I doubt you knew
Imagine
anything
a giant
about it.
mosquito sucking out all your blood and then replacing it with formaldehyde. Not very pleasant.
Doesn't sound pleasant.
Edwards keeps assorted bottles and specimens in there. Nothing too remarkable that I can see.
Alright, fine.
Nice pair of legs.
Alright, let's talk to Edwards.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes.
How do I put this? Oh, we've got a lot we can ask here. Okay, let's ask about the burned cloth.
Found this piece of burned cloth at the crime scene. Could you take a look at it for me?
What do you need me to look at exactly?
It appears to have some oily residue on it.
Interesting. I'm afraid I have my hands full right now, but you can feel free to use my workbench if you'd like.
Oh,
To do what exactly?
Surely they taught you something about basic chemical analysis when you worked here.
Yes, well, I always let Bill handle the more technical aspects of our cases.
A real pity I'm not around to help you anymore, isn't it?
But I'll have a look and see if something comes back to me.
Oh god, is this going to be something where we can lock ourselves out again? Let's ask about himself.
Keeping busy down here, Edwards?
Oh, you know me. I've always got my hands in someone.
Edwards always
Lovely.
did have a way with words.
This postmortem was just a formality, really. The victim died of a gunshot wound to the head. Last week, though, we had a real kicker. An old man was brought in, and though he appeared quite dead, I was told that he'd been in a trance for over half a year.
Huh.
Apparently, he was hypnotized right at the point of death, and somehow managed to remain alive in a fashion.
That is
In
mad.
any case, when I began performing the exam, his entire body decayed into a putrefied mess within minutes.
Ugh.
It was fascinating.
Should you really be giving me these details, Edwards?
Oh, hell, I don't mind telling you, Miles. It's not like you're going to go tell Snelling.
We're definitely not.
Besides, you're the only one who's come to see me all week. Dead people make lousy conversationalists.
Hey, I take offense to that statement.
Alright, let's talk about Chief Snelling.
So, Snelling got promoted to chief, did he?
Yes, not too long after you left. Personally, I think he took advantage of your situation to change things around here.
Was
Probably.
it really that much of a shock? Bill and I weren't exactly the most well-liked detectives on the force.
But you were respected. You two solved over 350 cases in 15 years.
Wow.
You were an institution.
That's
Damn
impressive.
right we were. It's so easy for people to resent their more successful peers.
Edwards. Nice to know someone missed us.
Bill?
You didn't examine Bill after he died, did you?
Ha! He wishes.
No, there was nothing inconclusive about his death. He died from impact after falling from the roof of a building. Why? Was there something else I should have looked into?
No, I was just curious.
As fond as I am of Edwards, it would have been a bit much for him to go poking around my inside.
Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about that. I'm not sure if I would prefer to have somebody do something like that if I died who didn't have any connection with me. Probably so, actually. It feels a bit weird having someone you know doing that. I don't know. Desiree's ashes, then.
I've got these human ashes from a crime scene.
Straight to the point. I knew I liked you for a reason, Fordham. Who do they belong to?
Was it straight to the
Desiree
point?
Lathan. She was a Gascon Grand Dame.
Oh, of course. I heard about that case. She was found burned in her home, wasn't she?
Yep.
That's right.
I meant to go over there later today.
Well, then I suppose I've saved you the journey. Would you have a look at these?
Does this mean you're officially on the case?
Not as such.
No.
In fact, I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention I'd been here.
Ah, clandestine operation. Sneaking around under Snelling's nose.
Something like that.
I don't have much of a choice. I'm pretty much persona non grata around here these days.
Well, you're always welcome in my mortuary. Preferably while still breathing, of course.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Anyway, I'll just take those ashes off your hands. I'm sure your social life will soon improve.
Yes, I was making quite the impression.
This is an interesting choice of container.
It was either that or carry them around in my bare hands.
Well, I'm a bit busy right now, but I should have something for you within the next couple of hours.
Nice.
But you do realize the information won't be exclusive to you. I'll have to pass it on to the detectives on the case.
Naturally. That just gives me more of an incentive to work quickly. Thanks. That's all I needed to know for the moment.
Anytime, Fordham.
He seems nice. It's nice to know we still have friends here. So he's going to get back to that. So we've got to use this workbench then to figure out this thing about the burned cloth. So we'll do that in the next episode because we've run out of time today. It's coming together nicely. We're doing pretty well. I'm interested to see what will be on the cloth. I don't know. And then we'll go from there. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to my patrons Arcades Games, Wayne, Nate, Terminally Nerdy, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle and Barry Aldridge for all the support on the channel. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all next time.